Hello, my name is Antonice Ross, and this is what I'm passionate about when it comes to education. When students enter into the classroom, it's not just about finding your desk, getting out your paper, getting out your pencil, and then start writing notes according to what the teacher is teaching you. No, I want my students to be involved and be engaged. And according to what we are learning, I want my students to imagine themselves right there in that very place. Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I want my students to know that what they are learning is just not something that they need to know for life, but this can help change their entire future. And how can our students change their future if they're not able to get involved in their learning? One of the activities that I love to do in my classroom is a lot of hands-on learning. Students need to be able to be creative and use their imagination. When they get out there in the real world, they're going to use their imagination and use their mind and their knowledge to help them create different things that's going to help and change someone's future. One of the famous quotes that I love is, I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Our students need a more student-centered classroom where they're able to practice their skills and abilities and talents and express themselves. And once they find their passion in learning, then they're able to teach their peers, and it won't just be the teacher teaching everyone in the classroom. We can each learn from one another. One way we can do this is by connecting with our kids on a daily basis, finding out what sparks their interest so that we can use those things in the classroom to engage them and draw their attention while they're learning. I know it's hard sometimes, but teachers need to be able to give their classroom over to their students so that students can take some ownership of their classroom. Some teachers still have a hard time giving out busy work, which involves paper and pencil assignments. Sean talks about how these assignments can be stressful and also boring. Most of the time, students are not even comprehending what they're learning. I believe that another thing that we have geared away from is having those real life experiences by taking field trips. A lot of schools don't take their students on field trips anymore, so students are not able to build their background knowledge and see those real life hands-on experiences and then bring what they've learned back into the classroom, so when those teachers ask those higher order thinking questions, they're able to have a real life connection in the classroom. I feel that one of the emergent issues when it comes to digital learning is that not all schools have the funds to provide internet and devices for their students. So I think it's very important as a leader to stay connected with your school and your community, work together to find those resources or those websites that will fund those things that your school needs to stay on track so your students won't fall behind when it comes to their future. One of the problems that we are faced with nowadays is that teachers are only teaching the test. And a lot of times students ask, why am I learning this? Why do I need this? When will I use this? And teachers say, you have to know this because it's on the test. So school is not enjoyable for students anymore. So we need to gear our education toward the paths that our students will be taking in their future. The impact that I plan on making by using digital learning is providing resources and lessons for parents to watch at home. A lot of times, students go home and don't even tell their parents what they have learned for that day. Well, I will be able to provide lessons online for parents to look at to see what their child is working on and so they can practice that additional skill at home. But none of this can be successful unless we provide the training for our parents and our teachers. We can't just give our teachers a resource and say use it. We have to give them the positive outcomes of them using whatever technology resource that we provide for them. And we also have to do the same for parents so they can have the support that they need in the home. Technology continues to change our world on a daily basis. We're able to still have that hands-on learning experience and collaborate with people across the world. As educators, we shouldn't get fearful of the things that are changing in the world. We should get on board, have a growth mindset, tell ourselves that we can do it and we can embrace change. There's nothing too hard for us to learn. Just like we want our students to have that perseverance spirit, we should do the same when it comes to technology. We should continue to remind ourselves that we all are daily learners.